Monday. Glad I cut the grass the other day. And good morning, everybody. Top of the week, and it's still top of the year. I'm still kind of getting used to this 2018 thing. But first video I'm gonna make of the year is a question from one of the comments. What does it take to keep an Rx8 running good? So we're hopping out top of the morning, and first video of the year is gonna be this girl. Now, here's one thing that keeps an Rx8 running good. Keep your mistakes on the car so you always remember what not to do. This was from a wall ride on the end of, I believe, 2014, 2013 season, I think. So I've been running around with this blown out tail light for a long time. It always reminds me of, don't go too hard in this car, simply because you got two other cars in there you can go hard on. Logic is sound. Don't question that logic, it's sound. So as the car's starting up and warming up, this is the Series 2 Rx8. It does not have one of the gauges that the older Rx8s have, which is the oil temp gauge. It just has coolant and fuel. This coolant gauge is useless. All Rx7 owners know this. When that gauge starts going up, you're in the bad land. You've already done something wrong. The rev counter does go really far, but right there with those LEDs, as it's cold, it doesn't allow you to rev past that. I'm a great owner. The Series 2 Rx8 has an update on the front fascia, lip, side skirt things, and the rear bumper and rear taillights are a little bit different than the Series 1. That's the majority of the difference of this car between the Series 1 Rx8. And I got the R3 version with Recaro interior. This is a Spirit R for America, but it's still slow. But it's quick around the racetrack. That's the only place this car is good at. Temp gauge hasn't risen, no drivey. That's just the best rule of thumb. You can drive it, by all means, do what you want to do with your car. But the best practice is to get some temperature in the car. So the question is asked, how do you maintain the car, keep it running strong, and keep from having problems? So there are a lot of people that do have problems with the car, but that's only because they drive it too gingerly. At least once in your drive, to take the car up to the rev limit. That clears everything out, and that makes sure that it's breathing healthy and it's ready to roll. It's very easy to do. Let me show you. Like that. Just clear out the taps one time. Now, no, I don't expect everybody to go drifting up on freeway on-ramps. Take it up to rev limiter at least one time in your drive. Clears out whatever's been sitting in the car for the time of rest. You don't have to do that every day. I would just say at least once or twice a week. Run it up in the RPMs. Let it clear itself out. But the best place to do it is going onto the freeway, because you can do it in first or second gear. Just run it right up to the rev limiter and let it clear itself up. Clear its throat and get ready for whatever journey you're about to put on it. And that is what I've done just about every day of this car's life. And you see, we've got a solid 60,000 miles on it, about to roll over to 61,000 miles on it. All original, and I'm really pushing for this car to be a one-engine car until I decide to do something with it. Every once in a while, just for the ha-has and he-he's, I put 100 octane in it, just to let her get a taste of some high-end stuff. Maybe once or twice a year, you'll change your spark plugs just to make sure, damn, she looks good rolling up in mirrors. Now, I literally only came here for one thing. Let's go grab that. Morning. Trying to get some frozen yogurt. Proper balance right there. Oh, she's so pretty when she's sitting here waiting for you. So I feel like my point was getting a little bit skewed, so back on track. Let's just go over the finer points of how to maintain these Rx8s. Consistent oil changes, annual spark plug changes, keep it up in the RPMs when you do drive it at least one time. I always like parking in front of windows just for this one shot right here. This is always so fresh. Bink. Oh, look at her. The biggest question I've always been asked, why is this car still stock? Come on, think about it. Yeah, that part. I don't need to modify it. I have other cars to drive that are modified. This is just worry-free. Oh man, just look at her. That's the key to maintaining my interest, is to look good like that right there. Oh yeah, and also guys, you have helped reach a landmark. I didn't have any goal for this channel. It was just to do cool stuff for my son and show his friends and whatever at school. But you guys have helped us reach our first 500 subscribers. And for a really small channel, we really appreciate that. It's 500 organic people that have found this channel that have enjoyed the content that we've brought to you. With that being said, thank you. We really appreciate it. Keep watching and keep giving us a thumbs up. It's been actually really good to see the frequency that you guys are interacting with us. And sometimes my son comments, sometimes I comment, but we try to maintain a close interaction with you guys when you guys spend the time to watch our content and then comment. Just let us know what else you want to see, because we're going to try to maintain a good relationship with you guys through this channel here. Now, with that being said, with the new subscribers, this is our entertainment room. Not only one, but there are two simulation rigs set up. This one over here, I spend the most time with VR, and my son is always on this setup, as you could tell from the really small person setup that is of this one. So we're always gaming, mainly on PlayStation. We've got this one set up for all of the old school games, and really I need to play these more. We haven't really played these at all. Time to jump in on the setup and have some fun right now. Alright, so on Gran Turismo, I love jumping in on this game because I get to drive vehicles that I cannot and will not ever own myself in my lifetime. And with the development of Gran Turismo Sport and the ability to utilize the VR, that is the majority of my time it's spent driving beautiful cars in the VR tour and going at all the best looking tracks and the best looking lighting. The VR is such a trip because you're so enthralled with the experience and looking in the interior and experiencing the courses. You even see me tilt my head a little bit like I'm experiencing G-forces in these corners. And look at that lighting, man. That lighting on Gran Turismo is like no other. Now, a lot of the fantasy tracks are kind of built like Monaco. You see this bus stop is a little bit more stretched out than Monaco's, and this track as well as a seaside race course. Moving into the perfect lighting, I think. 8 a.m. I think this is 8:30 a.m. Big Willow Springs. And I spend a lot of time at this track and have done probably about 3 road race days on Big Willow. The rest of my time is spent on streets, Horse Thief Mile, and I've done balcony like twice. But man, look at that lighting. That lighting is amazing, and the contrast in the clouds. There's no game that does that. You can't get that visual anywhere. This track right here is really cool because it does display fog. This is technically a 5 a.m. Lighting. It says 4:30, but this doesn't look like anybody's 4:30 a.m. But this does display fog. Gran Turismo hasn't implemented the weather or active weather yet, so you just get certain weather features at certain times, and I like to run through all different times and try to experience those features. But once again, in this GT3 inspired race car, this is actually where I get my style from. See that monitor on the dash? And then, of course, since I am a drifter, I spend a lot of time drifting. 8 a.m. Horse Thief Mile, just like we do at the All-Star Bash, running this GTA 6 to the ground. And it's amazing to put in as many laps as I feel like, and I'm not footing the bill on fuel and tires. That is the benefit of doing simulation. See, I'm going in hot here at Streets of Willow, and do that with a flat spot the tires, load the tires up. You're running the tires full tilt for continuous laps where you can stay in your hot zone and figure out the line that you want to take. That's the benefit of sim racing. I'm not paying for anything but my electricity bill. and I've got everything set up in this most convenient green state so that it doesn't tear up my energy bill when I'm playing. But this is what I love to do, and I'm glad that my son shares this love with me as well. He gets to jump on, he gets to play, he gets to get as much experience as possible, and he's nowhere near licensing age. And this VR just gives you the closest experience to real life as possible. So this is where I spend a lot of time. If you guys do game and you are on the PlayStation Network, feel free to join me, SYTFU_Lex, SYTFU_Lex, and join me on PSN. So I'll let you finish out watching the rest of this lap, and then I'm going to enjoy myself. You guys have a good one. Thanks for joining. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Like us, give us a thumbs up, and drop a comment. Let me know what else you want to see, what else we can do in this off season between working on cars and obviously playing sim racing. So I'm gonna catch you guys later. It's Kings of Recreation, and I'm out.